Pam O'Connor is a leader with a proven track record.
You're tuned in to Meet the Candidates, and I'm Sandy Jacobson. Joining us today is Pam O'Connor. Thanks for joining us, Pam.
I'm pleased to be here.
So let's talk about development. You're on the City Council.
Yes,
how do you decide which criteria to support in terms of development agreements?
Well, first of all, let's put that into perspective. Right now, there are a lot of development agreements in the pipeline, and that's because we're doing our zoning code. We adopted the land use and circulation element in 2010. Again, that says we're going to protect the neighborhoods and we're going to have strategic locations for new development. So to move forward in implementing what projects or approving projects, we need a zoning code. So right now the zoning code is under development. Some of those projects that are now in development agreement land, so to speak, may go to another method of approval, which would be a design review or development review kind of approval process. If it goes there will be in the zoning code specific criteria about the kinds of community benefits that are there. But some of them will remain as a development agreement. So potential to come to the council, to come to the community. So for me, in terms of how you evaluate them, probably the number one criteria will be, have to do with transportation. What will it do to help transportation? Granted, if you build a new housing unit, if you build one new job, there will be some movement, some transportation, some traffic. But what will be the kinds of things that can be brought to the community benefits of that, whether it's providing extra parking, whether it's providing funding for robust transit, for transit passes, whether it's helping to build out the biking network. What are those range of options? Is it providing transit passes to the people who live there on an ongoing fashion? So again, what are the kinds of transportation and traffic mitigation things that would be on the table? Then other kinds of things I'd be looking at too in terms of community benefits, where if it's a housing project, having some level of affordable housing. Housing for seniors, for veterans, for people who are disabled, for folks in lower incomes. So those are the kinds of things. And each project may have its own unique set. One might be a historic preservation benefit that makes sense for that project. Another one could be something tied to arts and culture. So some will be brought to the table, but those would be my highest priorities, again, with transportation, traffic reduction at the number one spot.
Well, that leads me into our next question. Our transportation modes are shifting. We've got people on bikes. Mm-hmm. Hopefully people will be riding the Expo line in 2 more years. We've got runners and pedestrians. What can the City Council do to help create that cultural shift that's needed to achieve a true sharing of the roads?
Well, some of it has to do with if it's there, people will use it. If we build it, they will come. And I'm talking about, first of all, Expo Light Rail, which will be complete in 2015. When I first got on the Metro board, I made sure, actually one of my first motions was that the vision and intent was to get it all the way to Santa Monica, and it's going to be done next year. So we will have that rail transit there. We need to make sure that we have the connections, what's called first mile, last mile, that people can get to those stations, how to get there. How do we support that? We support that by providing a range of options. Could be more robust. Our Big Blue Bus is going to look at how to connectivity to the stations, as well as maintaining the connections throughout the city. Could be that we have more circulators. We've already embarked on things such as the bike lanes, the green bike lanes. You might have seen them around town. You've seen more and more people riding bikes. In fact, that's the fastest growing share right now. So building more of those facilities, bike parking, the bike valet we have. And the information, frankly, smart technology is another way that's really going to help us find what those options are for transportation choices and mobility choices. So real-time arrival information for buses and transit. So there are many things we are doing now and that we will continue to do to support a strong and robust environment for people who are walking, people who are biking, people who are driving.
In the 1 minute that we have left, besides a public park or an open space, if the airport is closed, what would you support having building there in that closed area?
Okay, Sandy, that's a hard question for me to answer, mostly because right now I am on the City Council, and the City Council is in litigation over closing the airport, etc. But one of the things I stand by, and this is in terms of overall philosophy, is that public lands It's a rare resource to have public land, and to use that for a public use is critical. And frankly, in Santa Monica, as I've always noted, we need more park space. So we do need more park, more open space, and I always support public uses for public lands.
Thank you so much, Pam. Thanks for watching, and remember to get out and vote on November 4th.